Hey drummers, how's it going? It's Alex once again, bringing you some more fun-free drumming ideas. For this week's lesson, I've got a lovely little groove for you beginners. We're going to try and tie a few ideas, and we're hopefully just going to build on the things you already kind of know how to do, and then just sort of step it up one level, and then learn how to orchestrate it around the kit to like a new and greater effect. So I'm assuming you've played for like, I don't know, maybe you've got like 4 or 5 hours behind the kit. You've got your basic groove down. You can do this one. You're either counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, or sometimes I like to teach it just to get the point across as 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're then going to move up and play 16th notes on the hi-hat, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and then we're going to sort of like learn how to sort of take one of those left hand notes, or right hand if you are left-handed, sneak it down to the snare drum to give us some kind of little offbeat pattern, and then we'll take that, move it onto the toms, and it's going to sound great. So if you like what you saw in the intro and you want to give this bad boy a crack, stick around and I'll break it down. Here we go. All right, so let's dive straight into it. What we're going to look at first is just your like run-of-the-mill basic groove where you're playing 16th notes, alternating sticking, which is essentially going right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left with your hands. Obviously, you can swap that over. If you're left-handed, you're probably going left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Now, traditionally, it's counted as 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. We're going to have the kicks on beat 1 and 3, and then we'd have the snare drums on beats 2 and 4. Now, when I'm teaching like new players how to play this, I think it's sometimes having to concentrate on the coordination of what you're doing, trying to remember the pattern, and then thinking 1 E and a, 2 E and a, which might be completely alien to you. Another way of approaching it is just break things down into 2 groups of 8. All right, because we're dealing with 16th notes. If we can just get like the first 8 notes down and then think of the second group of 8 notes and then just stick them back to back, it's much easier to sort of like count 1 to 8 than it is 1 E and a, 2 E and a. All right, so we're just going to keep things really simple. What we're going to do is we're going to play 1 E and a, 2 E and a, or we're going to count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, we're always going to kick on number 1, okay, so that's going to land with my lead hand, which in my case is my right hand, all right, so that's the only note that's going to land with a hi-hat. When it comes to playing the snare drum, it's not like one of those first grooves you learnt where you're playing it with the hi-hat. We're going to play it sort of in a linear fashion, so your right hand's going to come down on that 5th note and hit the snare drum on its own, so we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's the whole pattern. We're going to get used to that first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you have learnt how to count the 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 E and a, by the time I've gone around that twice, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a, your bass drums then land on 1 and 3 and your snare drums on 2 and 4. Or if you're just counting 1 to 8, it's bass drums on number 1, snare drums on number 5. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Count, do whatever you can, or whatever's easy for you counting wise, just to get the pattern down, because it's all about coordination and muscle memory at first anyway. So we've got that pattern down. It's not too bad. One of the things you might want to practice as well is just going from like one of the basic grooves you might have learned, like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and switch. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Back. All right, because one of the little methods I like to do, or just it's just almost a general rule, anytime we learn something new, we've got to find a way of attaching it to something we already know, so we can flow from like old knowledge into new knowledge, and then it starts becoming useful. We can get it into some sort of context that we understand, so that when we are playing this, like in a song, we know we can do this and feel pretty good about it. All right, so always practice something new with something old and see if you can just sort of go from seamlessly from old into new and then new back into old. All right, so I've gone off piece already. We're going to focus on this pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, all we're going to do, by the time I've gone through it twice, okay, so it's 2 counts of 8, or 1 E and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 E. That was quite fast. You've got your one bar or your one measure. So all we're going to do, first round, we're going to play the first group of 8 notes exactly the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're now going to spice up the second round by bringing that left hand off the hi-hat and down to the snare drum on the second note. So that's going to be immediately after we do our kicks. So we get this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Might be worth practicing it. Your hands are still just like pistons going pa, 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 pa. All you're doing is you're just moving it down, creating a new voice within the groove and having a nice little effect on the drum beat as well. So part 2, so this is just like technically beats 3 and 4. We've got 3 E and a 4 4, E and A. If you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's just go through it really slowly. Take part 1, part 2, just stick them together. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You might need to create a little bit of space for your left hand to come down. So if you watch, my right hand will just veer out a tiny bit, create a little channel for my left hand to get down, but I'm still keeping my hands in that da, 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 da. Okay, so here we go. Here it goes. I'm slightly exaggerating it. As you get used to it, you won't have to do it like quite so much, all right? Your hands will just get used to sort of knowing where the snare drum is going to be. Let's speed this up a bit more. Still just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1 E and a 2 E and a 2 E and a 4 E and a. Okay, and it's starting to sound a little bit more impressive than what we've done just keeping it here. Just slip it in every now and again. Okay, it sounds really nice. Now all we're going to do is we're going to take these two hands and we're just going to sort of position them there. Okay, the right hand's going to be coming across from the floor tom, the left hand's going to be coming down from the high tom. Again, I'm just counting, just remember, you've got your hands going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4 and a, and you still want to hear those bass drums and snare drums on the same numbers or in exactly the same places as they were when we were playing here. The only difference is we're now just moving our hands from different positions. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's not too bad. If you just want to settle, like getting used to that, just keep your hands up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. All right. One little thing to take note of, when I'm playing my toms, and quite a few beginners, you'll find you might be a little bit heavy-handed, especially with your lead hand or your right hand. So if you're playing your drum beat, your hi-hat's up here, and you're right up there. That's pretty normal, so don't worry about that, but slowly over time, just start bringing down the dynamic of your right hand and start pushing up the volume of your bass drums and snare drums. Like your kicks and your snares are the bits that the audience, the band members are going to sort of attach to when they want to feel that groove. That downbeat with the bass drum, that backbeat with the snare drum. So we don't want to have the toms getting in the way of that too much. We want to keep those a little bit lower, so we're not sort of like getting too tense, because that's just going to sort of hinder speed later on down the line. So just try and play a little bit more relaxed. But still pop those bass from snare drum, still going bang, snare, boom, snare. All right, now what we're going to do, we're going to now bring that left hand down on number 2. This is the tricky one, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The nice thing is that left hand doesn't have to worry about getting out, you don't have to move your right hand out the way. It's got its own channel just going up and down, whereas the right hand's going right and left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A little bit faster. Now, the sticking pattern hasn't changed, right? The sticking pattern is always right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. We know we're hitting the bass drum on 1 and number 3, and then the snare drum on 2 and 4, but also that little sneaky one on the E of beat 3 as well. Now, we're going to make a little embellishment, just to sort of give it a little bit of extra spice. We're going to take the very last note with our left hand, and we're just going to bring it down to the floor tom. So we're going to get this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bring it down to that floor tom so we get this lovely little ba 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 boom moving around the kit. We're not changing the number of notes, we're not changing the speed we're playing, we're simply moving that particular hand to a different drum. So that will give us this. Got to get it back up there though. Let's speed this bad boy up. Yeah, we're good. This we could always, if you want, just stop there and see if you can now attach this drum beat, a nice basic one, and then go into get a little sweep round, back into your drum beat, here. Do 2 kicks, and go in. If you want, that's just 4 snares. Okay, so we're learning how to attach this new thing to something we already know, and just practice that smooth transition. With things like this, quite a lot of the time, nearly all the beginner drum beats that you tend to going to go through are always going to start off with your lead hand and a kick. All right, so just get used to thumping that kick down, make it like a little checkpoint or an anchor that you can sort of like attach a muscle memory pattern to, whether it's, if you go to here, it's going to trigger the muscle memory for what you've just been practicing there, and as you go back to the hi-hat, hopefully it will trigger that muscle memory. When we're swapping between these particular two drum beats, your right hand is always the same speed. So if we're going like this, okay, when I go to a 16th note, it's 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a, okay, so I'm just obviously tapping my leg, my left hand's going and doing the job it would do up on the hi-hat. So there are all the notes we've got. We're going to make one little extra change, and that is we're going to snazz things up a tiny bit more by manipulating or putting a little bit of an embellishment in that first half. So you know how we were going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're now on number 4 going to hit this little puppy. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So get this nice little tick snare sort of popping through. Nice little contrast to what's going on with the toms. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Timing on that was terrible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? Just getting that like left hand or your weaker hand being a bit more active, moving around the kit, sort of want to get a little bit of motion and fluidity, and start utilizing everything that's in front of you rather than just spending everything all the time just between the kick snare and the hi-hat at the start. You can take everything you learn here and just chuck it around everywhere else. So here we go. Let's play like part 1 and part 2 back to back. I'll put a little gap between them. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, put it together. Back to the beginning. I'll count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's count the E's and the R's. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a... Let's play it faster. Go even faster. Nice. And all we've got to do is attach this bad boy to something we already know. Remember, your right hand is going the same speed. This is my metronome, okay? One more time, with a little fill. Let's try it on the hi-hat. Little fill. So all that was happening there, my hands are just constantly going right, left, 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 right, left. It's really good practice for not learning how to learn not how to speed up when it comes to playing your fill. So a lot of people will be playing their groove and just be like trying to go stupidly fast. You've got to make sure that right hand, that's going to help keep you in time. It just stays up here. Same on the toms as well. All right, so it's worth, well, it's not worth, you don't have to, of course, this is all optional, but take this particular groove to start up on the hi-hat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, sneak that left hand down on number 2 for the second round, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Move hands to toms, do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Send left hand down to floor tom at the end. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then when you're feeling really adventurous, hit hi-hat on number 4 of the first round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Done. All right, so let's just go from a slightly different angle so you can see what it looks like from above. And then we'll just sort of chuck this baby around a few times, a couple of different speeds, and then I'll come say goodbye. So here we go. Nice and slow, just the hi-hat groove. A little bit quicker. Quicker. Let's do the same pattern but go off the toms. Bit quicker. Bit quicker again. All right, let's now flow from basic groove to the hi-hat pattern, back to the basic groove, and then we'll go over to the tom. So medium tempo. 1, 2, 3. Hi-hat. Off to the toms. Let's now look at the embellishments on the tom groove. So we've got a hi-hat coming in on the 4th note, so that's the of beat 1 before we hit the snare, or if you're counting it like number 4 before we hit the snare on number 5. And then on the very last note we're going to play with our left hand, moving it down to the floor tom, so that'll be on the of beat 4 or number 8 if you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here we go. A little bit quicker. Right, let's speed that up a little bit. Even faster. Now let's just link everything together. Sometimes I'll play like a little burst of 4 on the snare drum. If I'm going from a normal like, and then in, or if I'm coming out, the last 4 notes on the snare drum. So here we go. 1, 2, nice and slow. All right, let's link it all together. Basic groove, little tiny drum fill, into our beat, back out, You know it's gonna go 1, 2, 3. All right, drummers, so there it is. I hope you enjoyed that lesson, especially you beginners out there. I hope you can get something out of it. Obviously, just start off with that basic groove. Bunt, gat, bunt, gat. Learn how to play the 16th notes. And then we can start sort of like bringing some of those hands. Just think of your hands like two pistons, like a machine. All right, just you're just moving where they're going to land as opposed to the rhythm that they're playing. And then, of course, you can then start exploring some voices on the toms. And you can see how you can take a nice little pattern like this, make one adjustment by bringing an extra snare drum note in there, and then just moving the whole thing like to the toms. And you're bringing in different parts of the drum kit, and you can just take a really nice little idea and get so much mileage out of it. And it's a great little idea because you can go from like a standard groove if you're playing with like your mates in a band, and you come towards like a bridge of a song and you just want to do something a little bit different and get that moment where you get stuck. Maybe you could just swap to the hi-hats and just play that 16th note pattern. But maybe there's a pre-chorus or something like that where you want to keep the same flow, but you want that different voice and just something a little bit special. So that's an idea. Of course, you can do it with pretty much every groove you come across. Always take your ideas from the kick, snare and the hi-hat and explore what you can do with it elsewhere on the kit. So with all that said, if you did like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and sort of check out the other 400 odd videos we've got. If that's not enough for you, there's also my website where I've got some exclusive videos that you will only find on there, and you can sign up there for a year for £50 or about $50. I don't know what the exchange rate is at the moment. If you sign up, it makes me very happy. Plus you get access to a whole load of new lessons that you won't find on YouTube. So if you've absorbed all those, there's a quick start guide if you're brand new. There's sort of like the next step up, like the intermediate level as well. Tons of fills, tons of drum beats, tons of different little ideas and exercises, practice pad things, just to keep you going so you've always got something to sort of play around with when you sit down behind the kit. So once again, thank you very much for watching. There'll be a link in the description below for the sheet music and for the website as well. So go and check it out, and I'll see you very soon for some more fun free drumming ideas. All right, see you later. Bye.